Alrighty, so if you are a little stumped on some of these textures, I'm going to go through them one by one and show you how to do them. So we're going to start up here, put down with wood. Okay. So the wood texture, for the wood texture, what I did is sometimes I like to kind of start off by putting some circle knots, so just kind of little tiny spirally things. And then what I do is I just start kind of going up and make the lines around them. You can kind of come in and add some more texture lines. And make some loops. It's just really playing with different types of line. And down, making some spaces thick, some thinner, and then again you can play with those knots going around them. This way. And loop. And around. I'm just finishing off space with some lines up and down, and you have your wood texture. Focus. There. All right. For the next one, stone. Stone. What I did was I just kind of started making shapes and kind of giving them a dark background, and then making another kind of circle space, but really making sure I was circling around to connect them. So if I made one like way out here, I'd probably get one like in here, but then in that tiny dark space, I would kind of fill it in. So I would just kind of do that all the way around. You could have some big stones and some long stones. And I'm just kind of filling in that space. The more careful you are, the easier it's going to be. It does take a while, but it's really, really worth it in the end. That's why for this lesson, I'm not asking anyone to do a background unless you really want to, or you finish early. Some more textures are easier than others. This one is definitely one that will take patience, a little bit. And the big thing is making sure they're all kind of connected by filling in what is behind them, just coloring in. Oops, now let's keep going. And again, see how it starts to kind of look a little different? And you gotta make sure you're going in and filling in all of those empty spaces. That's your stone. So I'm gonna go right on this one. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do bumpy scales. That's kind of the one I did the lizard and the dragon on. That's what I did first. And so my diagonals go in one direction. And then I made diagonals go in this direction. And then taking my pen, I just kind of went in and kind of rounded out those shapes, but I wasn't super careful about it so that they all looked a bit more natural, um, and less geometric. Okay. So then what really made this one pop was when I added colors. I'm just gonna go grab some color pencils. Alright, so we'll pick your lighter color. You can kind of scribble it all in. So I just took my yellow color and I scribbled it on in. Then what I did is on the bottom half, I just lightly kind of shaded some shadows. That's gonna kind of what it's gonna make everything look a bit more like it's popping off. And so that kind of was what made them look more 3D. And some little tiny dark shadow down there in the bottom. There we go. All right. The fish scales. So this was fish scales. All right. So what I did for the fish scale was okay. So what I did for fish scales was I'm starting on the edge over here. I just made kind of backward C's. Wasn't super careful about where they were falling. Just filled the space with fish. Okay. And then after that, what I did was I went in and I added lines, backs. On the ends. Careful to not get close to that top. You want to make sure you leave some white up there. 3, 4, 2 lines is good. Okay, just on all of them. Okay. And the last thing I did to make them really pop was I went in and I added just dark shadowing at the base. The first one, and then what you're going to work on is worrying about where these curves are. So just kind of darkening along the curves, tops, wherever there's a curve, just kind of making it a bit bigger, darker. And that's going to kind of give it a little shadow. And one, all of the outside shapes. And we're going to really make each fish scale look 3D. Take your time. I'm going to kind of speed it, but please take your time. It gets messy if you go too fast. And again, you're not worrying about getting a whole background done, so please go slow. I just want to get on to the next one. Okay, so there's your fish scales. Next, we're going to do the short fur. So your short fur is kind of easy. It's just going to be a lot of these small lines, making sure that they kind of go off the edges of your character and the bottoms. So don't make super long lines here. This is your short fur. So you want to keep your lines fairly small. Yep, so that's your short fur. And then for your long fur, you're going to do a similar thing, except first you want to kind of get some of these types of shapes in your picture. So you want to edge your fur characters with triangle edging, and then you're gonna go in and you're first gonna make just a bunch of long lines. There's a lot in there. And then to really make the edges pop, you're gonna darken either side and kind of make it a little 3D. Darken, darken, darken. Darken, darken, darken. And darken. And that is your long fur. Now, if you have anything else underneath here, you can always add a little bit of other fur lines just to kind of help connect it. And that's it. That is your long